Here we go. Oh my God. Hello, Sacha Black.
Hi. So, well, Sacha Black today. I don't know where because I have now told the world my pen name, which I don't think I was going to do last time. Yeah, I know.
I'm still like a month behind on the podcast too, where you were not sharing this. What made you change your mind?
Oh my God, coaching. Ellie is a fucking like literal goddess. So we've been working for like months and months and months towards a bit of an epiphany. And I can say this now, but like I've spent a lot of my life like feeling a bit unloved and not loving myself. And like, because I didn't love myself, there was like loads of judgment there. And so I just think that was like all wrapped up in why I needed to do it in secret, because I didn't trust myself. I didn't value myself. I didn't value what I could produce. And it wasn't until I did it with nobody looking, nobody giving me opinion, nobody influencing me, that like I realized I could write something that I fucking loved. And like the minute that I did that, I was like, oh. And then like, I don't know about you, but there's a moment when it goes off to the editor. And for me, I disconnect. I don't need to be, I think we were talking about how precious like we were before. And like, that's when I stopped being precious. And then my brain switched and I was like, why would I not tell people then? Like, I already have an audience. Why would I hamper myself like that? So then I was like, oh, fuck this shit. I'm just going to tell everybody. And yeah. And so it was like all this, like it all happened in the space of about 48 hours. And I was just like, we're telling everyone, we're doing it.
So for people just catching up now, what is your pen name?
Ruby Rowe.
Love it.
Ruby Rowe
so much.
Thank you. Yeah, I love it. And the book is called A Game of Hearts and Heists. It's on pre-order. I'm super excited. It's super fucking steamy. It's very lesbian. And it's like fun and escapism and just like it just doesn't take itself seriously in the best fucking way possible. And I love it. So yeah, everybody needs to go read it.
I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. I think that is so cool. I would have supported you to the end of the earth, and I would support anybody who chooses to keep a pen name secret.
And there are reasons for it too, right?
There
like
are
I'm not
often
saying
reasons.
that you should.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just that I had the wrong reason this time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But anyway, tell me about your walk.
God. Oh, no, I'm too excited about you. I really am. Wait, can I tell a sidebar quickly? I back in 2011 or so, I wanted to jump into the gold rush, which, wasn't a gold rush any more than it is now. But I wrote four books and a novella really quickly so I could, back to back rapid release. And I was just writing what I thought was crappy romance as fast as I could. And I was just going to get some of that green money. And I wrote them as fast as I could. I got them professionally edited. I threw them up online under a pen name and they were so good. They were, because I was getting better and better and better. And then I fell in love with this world of Darling Bay and eventually wanted to sell books in Darling Bay. And I believed in myself enough that I brought all of those books over to the Rachael Herron name. That pen name doesn't exist anymore. But I had this same thing, like, well, I'm just going to be, I'm not, I don't want people to associate this work with me, or maybe, because I was writing it so fast, I loved it so much and I was having so much fun with it.
That's the thing. Don't get me wrong. There are like The Scent of Death, for example, is a book that I want to be beautiful. I want it to be beautiful. It's a heart-wrenching, beautiful story of like love and loss and grief and like just complex families, and like I love it because of that. And so I want the prose to be pretty and I want it to be, all of these things. But then like actually I also really fucking just love smut sometimes, and I also want to write that sometimes, right? And smut does not need to be as exquisitely eloquent as other books. So yeah, like it was just giving myself the permission to like write differently sometimes, and that's okay. Like, stop taking yourself so fucking seriously, Sacha. So yeah,
I'm so thrilled about this. What a surprise too that you just hit me over the head that you shared that. That's so cool.
I'm sorry. you have no idea how hard it's been to be like, not like Marco Polo, you'd be like, ah! Like,
I
or
love,
like the
I
bus you were
love
away. Yeah.
finding these things out. That's amazing. That's amazing. Oh my God. Okay. And answer to your question, the walk was fantastic. It was so much hiking, and it was glorious, and it was beautiful, and it was really hard. And but it was awesome. We trained, we did great. And it was just one of those, the thing I really loved, one of the best parts of it was it just like getting to the exhaustion level and then deciding to go further, and then deciding to go a little farther, and getting a little farther, and then just being fine where you thought you were going to die. And we were in no danger of dying. Like, we would have stopped at sensible points if one of us had broken an ankle, etc. But we didn't. And we just kept moving. And it's the Abel Tasman is this land of like tropical golden sand, white sand beaches with the azure water. We stopped at this little cove and ate an apple. And because we sat on this log on this deserted beach, it's all deserted, on this deserted beach, because we sat on the log, we were like, what's that splashing? Oh, it was a pod of dolphins passing
Fuck off. Oh my God. Oh my God.
leaping and gambling. And then they were gone, and we never would have seen them and we could see the sea all the time, but we just, we're always looking down at it, and we were not on the beach where the dolphins were, like just
Oh
right
my
there.
goodness me. That is incredible.
It was wonderful. And then we glamped a bit, and then we stayed in some nice hotels and caught boats when we needed to make connections to the next site. And it was awesome.
And did you like do loads of reflection and thinking and intellection time? And because I think before you left, you were talking about how you wanted to like think about like what you were going to do next year. And my cat is now deciding to leave the vicinity. Sorry.
Hello,
yeah.
cat.
So did you? Yeah, because I
Beautiful
think
cat.
you were talking
Yes,
about like the potential for that for next year.
And it's so funny that you wait. What was the potential that you're thinking of?
Because I think you were thinking about where you were going to put your focus, because you were going in a new direction, right? So
yes.
yeah.
And the answer to that question is no. I did not. My brain just went on holiday too. It was just on vacation. I was tramping along either in front of or behind Lala, and we talked a lot. And this whole time we've been training, like we've been together and talking. We had one very long day where we were training, where for a couple of hours, we split our AirPods and listened to the same podcast. So we were, on the same trail, listening to the same thing, kind of laughing at the same things. But otherwise, we've just spent all this time talking, and it just went on like that. I was super happy just to put my feet on the path, walk forward, and release my brain from worrying about anything except not tripping on the tree root. And I realized now that I look back on it, it felt so good.
But it's like meditation. That's why I always say, like, when I go to the boot camp in the middle of the day for that hour, it becomes a meditative experience, because you just you clear, because all you can do is the next exercise, the next weight you're lifting, the next whatever. That is the only thing you can focus on in that moment.
And I would say I would say 80% of the trail, 100% of the trail is pretty well maintained, but 80% of the trail is off kilter. Like, you're either going a little bit up or a little bit down, or you're leaping over a tree root or rocks. And we're carrying our poles. So as very ADHD person, my feet are walking, and also my hands have something to do. I'm gripping the poles and I'm using them as antennae almost. Like, I can feel there, and I can trust that pocket of squishy ground. It was just so beautiful and meditative, like you said. And you would think that I would have been thinking these things, because, as you know, we bought a house. The sale came through the day before we left on our hike, and we will be moving in 1 month. We will own a house. So
we already had more happen in a month. I literally don't think more could have happened between us. What the fuck?
So now I'm literally trying to find movers before New Zealand shuts down today until the middle of January. Yeah, exactly. So, and it's going to start boxing things up and moving. But even while we were walking, I wasn't thinking about that. Sometimes we'd talk about, paint color choices for whatever room, but it just was so smooth. And now I am back, and now I am thinking about goals. I like that you and I kind of share I don't think it's that common, or maybe it is, and I don't know, but this passion for planning, this absolute, like I could replan my whole life every single day, and that's why I journal.
Yeah.
Um,
And then ignore it.
and then I don't care.
Yeah, no.
I don't give a crap. I will make quarterly goals. And what I will probably not do is look back on my quarterly goals for last year. Not because I don't want to beat myself up, because I never missed my goal. I never hit my goals either, but I don't care. I don't care that they shifted and I hit different goals, and
I
you
do.
the same thing, right?
Yeah, very similar. Like I have a plan. And well, I write a plan, let's put it that way. I write the plan and then I just go off and do whatever I'm going to do. And I do, like, the one thing that I do consistently is at the end of March is the end of my tax year. So I always do a lessons learned from like that year. And I try to share as much information as possible, and like financial information as well. I mean, I'm not as open as you are, but I will say, like X% or this percent. Like, so for example, this year, I think I'm going to earn less than I earned last year. But the reason for that is because I've invested time in things like writing more fiction books, which is going to set me up for the future. So that was like a tactical decision that I took in order to get my business where I want it to be, which is giving me more time to write fiction. I don't care where the money comes from. Like, I think it's going to have to come from my nonfiction, which is fine, and courses and stuff like that. That's fine. But I want to be able to buy myself more time to write fiction, and ideally obviously earn more ultimately from fiction, but it doesn't matter right now. I just want the time. That's what I'm trying to buy myself. So I do that annually. And then the other thing that I try and do is like write it on my board somewhere, like what I've done, because I'm really shit at celebrating things. So like, my podcast has hit a certain number of downloads or whatever, and I just like, oh, okay, cool, what's the next goal? Like, what's next, rather than stopping to like celebrate. So I do try and keep a list of like achievements or whatever, but then I'm just, I don't know, that's hard.
That made me just have I think a good idea. I got one of those 2023 wall planners, which I just put up on my and you could see the whole year at a glance. Do you have one of those? I think I've seen that. Yeah, exactly. And then, but this one is for 2020. I think yours is movable, right? Any year.
This is 2022 and this is 2023 down here.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So what I'm going to do is plan out in dry erase what I want to do. But then in Sharpie every month, I'm going to erase the plan and draw in the accomplishments. Right in the accomplishments.
I love it. I love it.
And then
I
just stick it in the closet and pull it out. I watch those kind of things elsewhere too, in journals and in my Notion board. But
I would have to have two calendars to do that, because the reason this calendar is so small is because I cut it, because I don't like seeing what's come before. I only like seeing what's coming up.
Yes.
So I would have to have a second one and do that. But I really like that idea, because I love that idea.
Cut it. That is so smart. I might take that too and do the two things. So it was like, $4 at the paper store.
Yeah. Because otherwise you have a great big fuck off calendar taking up loads of space on your wall that like doesn't need to take up space. I don't give a shit what happened in January this year. I want to know what's happening next fucking January,
Exactly. And even though I don't mind missing goals at all, I don't need to be reminded of it daily. And so therefore I would like stop reading it at all. God, we're brilliant. Together we're brilliant. That's the perfect plan.
Well, and the other thing is I can't cope with the sensory overload, right? Because I need to know immediately what I'm doing next. Whereas if I've got the whole of the year, my eyes have to scan to look at which month it is. Exactly. So I sort of cut it every quarter. Every quarter I get rid of a row, like a big slab of the calendar. I know it's like sacrilege though. Everyone's like, you do what to your calendar? And I'm like, well, I cut it. What?
I also rip my books into pieces when I need to. Like if I'm traveling or something and I only need a part of a book, like a travel book or I am sacrilegious when it comes to things like that.
I mean, Chloe will just it and I'm that does give me a bit of the heebie-jeebies, but never mind.
All right.
So did you write goals?
I only just a little bit. I'm
Okay.
still stuck in this, mired middle land of Seven Miracles was taken out to Dutton, who I owed the right of first refusal to. They had the right of first refusal on any of the fiction, and they refused, which was what I wanted. But they do more bespoke, like literary stuff. And this is paranormal women's fiction romance, queer. So they turned it down, which is what I wanted, because then in January, when things open up again, my agent will take it out to the different editors and we'll see what happens. Otherwise, I'll self-publish it. And still waiting to hear from her on the memoir thing. And I am still editing the big evergreen course, which has been so fun. And it's going to be a really great course. It's the, I can't remember if I told you about this or not, but it's the preparing to publish, like looking at traditional and self-publishing.
Yeah.
And then, I've got my next projects lined up, but then I keep thinking of books, and maybe that should be a goal. It's like,
Write
but
more books.
here's my other thing is that I have a lot of quote unquote product in terms of essays and essay collections I can put together and that I've been playing with to self-publish. So I'm thinking about seeing if I can do some kind of creative inspiration series with, 50,000 words each or whatever, but that would be easily pulled togetherable. I feel like I haven't produced anything, put anything out in, a year now. And I'd like to put out some books because everything has been backburnered, and I could put those together and collect them. And I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, on my list is be a better publisher.
Yeah.
Right. And so that means two things. Well, I know it means lots of things, but so like on my list is to create a promotions schedule and to actually promote, like, so 52 weeks for 52 different promotions. I think I've heard a few different people say this, and somebody mentioned it at 20 books. So this is not my idea. I cannot take credit for this. I can't remember who said it, but somebody said it at 20 books. They do 52 promotions a year. And but so that doesn't necessarily mean always having something on sale, but it could mean talking about one of my books or my products or, something like that. So I've actually got like a spreadsheet that and I need to create the strategy and then hand it off so that it's not then my responsibility to deliver it. Otherwise I'm going to go mad. But included in that is like back end tasks. So things like I don't have all of my books in all of the formats. That's silly. I should have my books in all formats. That's being a better publisher. And being a better publisher in terms of capitalizing on the products that you've got or the assets that you've got. So I have presented, I don't even know how many times this year. I have got so many slide decks that I could just take a week out, record the fucking slide decks or tweak them to make them, it wouldn't take an awful lot of work to tweak my slide decks. That would be 10 different courses, mini classes, even if you want to call them. Why am I not capitalizing on? I know I'm not capitalizing because I don't have enough fucking time to do everything, but be a better publisher, right? Because we are creatives. We create all of this stuff and we don't it just sits there. And it, so I completely, I feel like it's the same goal, just angled slightly differently. Yeah.
And I'm thinking about it in terms of, Denise Duffield Thomas, who, I love her. She wrote Chill and Prosper. But I'm thinking about it in her words, which are share. I think it's share and offer. Share and offer, because the thing is, I think you fall into this too, is we share. And we never simply say like she does. I love listening to her short podcast because she always does it. At the end, she always says, and you can find out more about this at blah, 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 where you're going to learn blah, blah, blah. She remembers to just offer it. If people are there, they're going to want to know about it. So, I'll tell you about my learning goal for this year, but I want to hear it. But all my other goals are kind of nebulous still at this point as I'm playing with them. Yours sound more concrete, like you've actually written them down. Please share.
I wrote my goals down.
Yay.
Okay, so I split them into business, learner, and life. So they're in 3 sections. Yes, I'm going to do the shortest one first because it's the easiest one, which is life. So, and these are not in any particular order. So one of them is to spend less time with my phone.
Yes.
I've never
Love
set
that.
that as a goal. I've never set it as a goal, but I feel like that would influence a lot of the other things that I want to do. So yeah, that's one. Another one is to work no more than 2 evenings a week, unless, and then there's a couple of caveats. So like, for example, if I'm presenting at a conference digitally, I can't help that, things like that. But I did as you said, and I have cut down my recording days to just Thursday. So that's fucking
Yay.
it. Yeah, that is it. It's only going to happen on a Thursday. Unless, unless we, something like this, but broadly speaking, 2 evenings a week. And then 2 wrapped up together, which is continue going to boot camp 5 times a week, and then to fit into or shrink out of all of my goal jeans. So I'm already 15 pounds down, which is great. And
Wow.
I don't have a weight goal, because that gets very obsessive and unhealthy for me. But like, I would like to fit into these clothes or shrink out of them. And then the last one is to either go to, or at least have the trip booked. But Venice is like way high on my bucket list. And I know you've been multiple times, so I'm definitely going to pick your brains off air about that, because it's like way high on my list to go to.
I have the best place for you to stay. I'm going to send it to you.
Okay.
Oh my fucking God. You're going to love it. You're going to love it.
I'm
Oh, that's
excited.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Okay. So that's
yeah,
life. Great.
that's life.
What is business?
Okay, so business is to do the goal I set off air, earn more money this year, which obviously comes into like that I mentioned, like being a better publisher and stuff, establishing a viable fiction, like let's just say pen name, or like establishing viable fiction is the goal. And then I have, I mentioned the promotion schedule. And then the last 2 is like just numbers, really. So like with fiction, I would say 3 books or 4, depending on the goal I can't talk about out loud. 1 nonfiction or 2, 1 course or 2, 1 audiobook or 2. Audiobook is probably going to end up looking like it's 2, because I've got one that's with the Master app, but it's not going to be published till next year. So that will probably end up being 2, because I will do another one. And then the last one is to continue streamlining my drafting, editing, outlining process. So at the moment, the last time I wrote and edited a book, it was 33 working days. I want to get it under 30 for the next one. And then I want to get it under 28, and then ideally under 24, but for now.
And that's full production, right? That's including drafting and editing? No.
So the last book I drafted and edited in 33 working days.
Holy crap. That's amazing. Yeah.
That's didn't,
great. And that counting it in that way is great.
Yeah. So, and because I have 4 working days a week, it was like 9 weeks, I think, or something like that. And so depending on whether you count weeks or whatever is how I'm shortening it or extending it, basically. So I've got trackable numbers, essentially, is the point.
It's so fun. In that weird overlap that we continually seem to have, that's about exactly the time it took me to write and edit 7 Miracles. Exactly.
It's incredible, isn't it?
And because we were both doing the exact same thing of just writing what we loved with no expectations attached.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It was so much faster, much faster. Because I was just like, I'm just making shit up. Again, where can they shag now?
I can't wait to read this. Oh my God, I cannot wait.
I'm like, I'm having a hot flash. Woo! Oh my goodness me. Okay, so on the learner, then I can just whip through these. So continue coaching. I want to have 1 or 2 coaching sessions from an audiobook narrator on fiction narration. That's just for funsies, just because I want to geek out with my learner. Learn to bake scones. I'm doing it. I'm making it happen. I literally have put it on my goals list.
Yes.
Read more books than I read this year. So I've currently read 102.
Wow.
I think I will read 104 by the end of the year, but last year I read 120. So my competition is pissed this year.
I set a goal for 100 this year, and I think I'm only going to hit about 80. And but it's like 30 more than last year, but I'm mad because I didn't hit 100.
And these are fucking arbitrary numbers as well. Like,
Exactly.
This is where you're like, competition, get back in your fucking box. Like, chill the fuck out, love. And I'm like, no, must win all the girls. Oh dear. And then in terms of learner, this is the learning thing that we're doing, right?
Yes.
So I have split it into 2 halves, and each half has 3 modules, 3 sections. So the first one is mindset.
Oh wait,
money,
you know
and
what?
craft.
Before you get into that, can we explain for people who might just be joining us what this little project is that we're doing?
So Becca Syme wrote a post.
It was maybe a Patreon post. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember I don't think it was a quick cast. Anyway, I don't know. Becca Syme. This is all Becca Syme, and she was basically talking about curating your learning and creating yourself almost like a master's degree for yourself, like a year of learning. But instead of just learning a bit of this, a bit of that, bit of the other, really focusing it down on a core thing that you wanted to do and go deep, and then like almost curating your input so that you're inputting not trash but valuable things. And so yeah, I think that is.
And you came up with a brilliant idea of like reading, researching, and then coming up with the book of do, where we actually write down action steps that then we schedule, implement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so now tell us about your learner project.
So I think my degree is split into two. It's split into 2 halves. So we've got mindset, money, and craft. And then on the other side, we've got business, marketing, and advertising.
Okay.
And I haven't quite like come up with a title. Like it's world domination is essentially what this degree is, right? That's what I'm working towards. So yeah. And that's kind of how I'm splitting it. So I want to make sure that everything that I do will fit into one of those. Yeah.
Beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, mine is, since I haven't done the beautiful breakout into goals that you have done, which I'm going to do, and then I'll forget all about. But I will tell you about my learning project, which just this morning, I am just calling it the connection project. And that's what it is. But I have a sentence that I have spent about 47 seconds thinking about. So I'm sure it will iterate it and make it really good. But the mission objective right now is in 2023, I want to learn to connect with and convert casual readers into super fans by helping them transform their lives in both big and small, meaningful ways. I will use my newsletters and savvy social media to increase engagement, retention, and book sales. So,
that is sexy.
It's good, right?
Yeah. It's like, I feel like we just had a dirty conversation. Yeah.
That's my cigarette. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So, and then what this is about really is remembering that. So I have 2 separate, and you do too. I have 2 separate audiences. I have the audiences who connect with me, either my fiction or my nonfiction, the memoir stuff, because they love my voice. And then I have the audience of writers who connect with me because I help them learn. And in both places, I can help people transform. And people who love Rachael, once they get to know Rachael, they want to hang out with Rachael. They're going to be on my mailing list forever. I don't normally step on people's toes or punch them in the nose. They stick around. But who I would really like to gain are more people who want to hear my specific voice. So I want to really concentrate on newsletter, not even list building, yes, sure, but newsletter, incredible retention and engagement. And also I want to take a real serious and thoughtful look at my social media use. I pretty much broke up with my phone in February when I went on this long writer's retreat. And so I've had a year of very little social media except for TikTok, which can be problematic. But so I love that is on your list to think about that. But something, I think it was on a Joanna Penn episode where she was talking with Dory can't remember the last name, who wrote The Long Game. And they were saying like, well, when you're looking at yourself in your 5-year plan, what are you doing today that will help you get to where who you want to be in 5 years? And, I thought, will putting all this energy into converting people on TikTok really pay off for me? I don't want to do that. That's not like my goal is to be a TikTok guru in 5 years. So I'm thinking about that. But what I do love is posting a picture every once in a while and talking about it and doing a mini little memoir piece. So like playing around with short form writing again, which I've done on other platforms with good success, but in the newsletter, on Instagram, push it to Facebook, which I hate, but those kind of thoughtful ways to connect with people who want to read my voice. It is such a fast-paced society right now, and you have to opt in to reading me. But if people opt in, if people take a second, I want them to keep coming. So the process for doing this connection project, I will read books about this. I will annotate them. I will capture the action points, and then I will do them. Number 2, I'm going to ask current readers what they want help with. And then number 3, I'm going to learn how to best deliver this to them. And number 4 is quantify and track engagement. I've been tracking it on and off for years and years. So I should be able to look at like the last, 15 years of growth and see at what pace I grow and see if I can up that a little bit.
Have you got
yeah.
connectedness in your top 10?
Oh yeah, I do.
Oh yeah. Okay. I was like, this is like the most connectedness thing I've heard in like forever.
I just found a book called Everything Connects, and I put it on my book list by Faisal Hoque, and it's got like incredible reviews. And apparently what he's talking about is taking a very mindful approach to connection. So sign me up. That's on my book list. And then
why don't we read that in January? I want to read that. I'll read that.
Oh, you want to? Yes, let's do it.
That sounds amazing.
Okay,
anything
perfect.
that helps me be more me, I'm like down for right now.
Yes.
Like, and because I think, I did not write it down and I can't remember the name already. But tell me after.
It is Everything Connects, and I will send it to you perfectly.
Okay, perfect.
And then the only thing else I will share about this is, because you will laugh, I decided to make a very Becca Syme kind of decision tree, because both you and I have high learner, and I'm so constantly grabbed by the shiny new object, which is always a book that I'm going to read because I want to learn everything. And so here's my decision tree. I thought it would be long. My first question is, does this book apply directly to connecting with readers or helping others transform? And then I was like, oh, I think that's the decision tree. I think I'm done. If it's not. So it's a decision. It's not a tree. It's only a trunk, no branches. Listener Sacha is giggling. That's why it's gone silent.
I'm sorry. I'm like blowing my mic, I'm sure. I was expecting like a 4 or 5 point decision tree. Oh, that's amazing.
Literally one. So yeah, that was it. And I'm ready to share book suggestions if you're ready to. We're going to do that on here. Do you have?
I think you have helped me come to the conclusion of what my thing is. So how you have a sentence. I don't have a sentence, obviously, but like if I am leaning into me and all of this learning, then it has to be, or if my decision tree, is this going to help me be the best version of me I can be?
Yes.
Or help me help others be the best version of themselves. That is, because like that's the most competition thing I can do, I think. And I'm just like leaning so fucking hard. Like I just have a massive boner for competition. So like, that's all next year is for me. Help everyone be the best. So
that's great.
Yeah.
That encapsulates. So you just got a decision.
I got a decision tree too. Decision tree of one branch.
That is all
good, because number 1 is my favorite number.
Is number 1 really your favorite number?
Well, that's how I get to be number 1, right? Obviously. Just like
your number 1
goal.
competition.
No, you're kidding.
That's brilliant. I love it.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so that's all I have for that. And I have some books You want me to just throw some books at you that I'm thinking about reading?
Yeah, I have 6.
Oh, I have 7. Great.
Oh, okay. And
I wonder if I have any
we need,
overlap.
I doubt it.
Oh, good.
And then we have to talk about Happy Money because
great,
my God. Yeah.
Okay. So my book list, What's in It for Them by Joe Polish. And that looked awesome. And then Playing Big by Tara Moore.
I've read that. I loved it.
Did you? Everyone seems to love it. Okay, great. Yeah. Company of One by Paul Jarvis.
That's on my list to read, not on this list here, but that is, so this, for listeners, you can't see, but I'm pointing to a little corner of my bookcase, and this is like my learner books. That's in there to read.
Perfect. You know that Tiffany Yates Martin, our shared BFF, she has a little shelf of books that she keeps really near her, and like 4 out of the 5 of them were my top nonfiction, like business books. And then I was like, what is the 5th one? And she said the Company of One by Paul Jarvis. And I just while we were talking last week, I just scrolled over and one clicked it, because I know that if it is,
I think I heard him on Joe's podcast. Years ago. I can't remember.
Sense,
I feel like that's where I heard him. Yeah,
it sounded very, very whatever that word is. I'm having a problem with words this morning. So you're going to bed soon, and I just woke up. Okay, so the next book on my bookshelf is one I've already started, and it's highly annoying, but I think it's probably smart. Smart Brevity. Have you read this one?
No.
It's really about gaining readers' eyeballs in the time where everything needs a bullet point, and the fucking book is written in basically fucking bullet points, and but it's written by people who really know what they're talking about, and who have done some big things on the internet, gathering and keeping attention.
And what was it called?
It's called Smart Brevity.
Okay.
And it's basically, you need to distill everything. You need to distill your thoughts down and present them in a way that's readable and legible. And I'm like, wow, those are 2 of my least favorite things to do.
Oh, see, I have been copywriting my mailing list emails.
Oh,
and my
so
open
smart.
rates have shot up.
Because mine have always been like, I'll tell you a story of 9 very long paragraphs. And when I do copyright them, it shoots up.
Oh.
Yeah. But I mean, it is still my voice, and I'm never going to be able to get away from that. But I think I need more copywriting techniques. And this seems to be, in terms of connection, this is good.
Yeah.
And then there is the Forever Transaction by Robbie Baxter, which is about subscription services. But what I'm really reading it for is for connection. Like, what do people want? And then Launch by Jeff Walker. Not sure it's going to stay on the list. Everything Connects, which we'll do for our January book. Fantastic. And those are my books. Okay. So what are your books?
Okay.
I'm going to take notes.
So I hate the first 3, but I'm going to do it because, so basically I think because they're all written by like white men. However, I want to read some business classics that I haven't read.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I feel like I need them as a foundation. Like, I've skipped a step somewhere along the line. So but I'm going to do them in audio because I have the attention span of a gnat for like white men. So I'm not, there is nothing wrong with white men. It's just that I don't really want to be taught by. Anyway, let's move on before I offend like half of the listeners. Wow. Okay. So 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, Influence, and How to Win Friends and Influence People. I feel like there is a significant influence theme here, given that I'm also influencing led. Oh my God, no wonder I want to read these books. So they're my 3 classics that I will probably do all of them in audio. And then I want to read How to Decide by Annie Duke. Yes, that Annie Duke.
Oh yeah. I did love that. I want to read that too. I'm putting that on my list.
Well, let's do it. Okay. So Profit First by Mike.
Life Changing.
Mike Kolowitz. Have you read it?
Life changing. I absolutely loved it.
Okay.
I have Profit. He says to do the Profit First model, like you run it on the 10th and the 25th. I can't be fucked, and I do it on the 25th. But I love it so much. Christmas is Sunday. It's the 25th. I'm going to do my Profit First. I look at all of my money. I am finally like, quote unquote, paying myself for the first time in my business. His model blew my mind. And if you want to talk about any of it, I absolutely love it.
Okay. Because so here's what Sacha did. She knew she wasn't going to beat last year's income about 4 months ago. And I haven't done my bookkeeping in 4 months because of that, because I just fucking threw all my toys out of the pram, had a massive competition fit, and was just like, well, fuck this. I'm not even gonna, fuck it all then. And then the irony is, like, I actually earned fuckloads in November. So like I probably might not be as far away as I think I will do it at some point, but not right now.
You will love it. You will love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay. And then the last one is 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that one. I will say about the Profit First, do not do that one on audio.
Okay.
I saw people complaining about it. And when I was reading about like the formulas that you plug in and all the numbers he's going to tell to you,
oh my God.
Yeah, it's maybe audio it and then switch over to the book if you need to look at the numbers and the charts and stuff, because the charts are important. It's so good.
I'll get it in paper. I'll get it.
And then you can talk to me about the half-assed way that I do it, because I don't do it exactly his way, but it has been awesome.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Those 3 came from Ellie. So we
Oh,
know that I'll have to do it now, because I always do what Ellie tells me to do. She's the only one who can make me do anything.
Now, Ellie, I know we should check in with her on this before we say this, but like, I know Ellie is going private coaching now. I wonder if she's going to be opening up to people, like just anybody, because I know she has been booked people, because I keep getting emails like, who is this Ellie that you and Sacha are talking about?
Yeah.
And she hasn't had any room to fit people in. So maybe I mean, this is not
we should ask her if she's open.
Yeah. So we'll do that by next time. If people are listening and wanting that. Yeah,
we'll do that. So Happy Money is the last.
Oh yeah, Happy Money is our last book that we read. What did you think about it?
I fucking loved it. I loved it so much. I brought the audio for my wife, because I was like, you need to read this. And like, oh my God, the revelations, there were some things that I highlighted that I was just like, oh my God, like around how you treat money, and like if you have no self-worth, then you feel like subconsciously that is a message to your brain that you can't keep money. Yes. Or that you should spend it. And that's what I used to be like. Mm-hmm. Like, and for the first time this year, I've had like real savings. Like I've been able to save, and it has run almost like directly proportionate to this journey that I have gone on with Ellie, to realize that I am fucking awesome and I should love myself. And like, I just shat the bed over the book, because I could not believe how many things were in there that I was like, oh my God, this is me. Like, unbelievable. Yeah, I loved it. I've now lost it on my Kindle, but oh no, that's why. Yeah. So I just thought it was incredible. And I'm so glad we read it.
I'm so glad. I loved it. I feel like I had read something quite similar to it a long time ago, and it had changed, and I can't remember what it was, but it was about this appreciation of money and this gratitude for money, especially. And I think that you and I are in a very privileged place in that, like, we do earn happy money. When I was working 911, it wasn't happy money. Well, there was some level of happiness in that I was able to help people, and that's what I took from it. But like, you know, I am earning happy money. But the thing that I had forgotten to do for so long, and I used to do, and I've started out doing again, is I have this little notebook next to me on the desk, and I always leave it face up, and it's my money journal. I mean, I also track all my money in like 2 different places, honestly. But this is my thank you journal. And when I got a $39 monthly payment from Mary, because she's part of Rachael Says Right, I think about Mary and I say thank you in my head. Thank you to her. And another thing that was kind of huge in this, because I forget to be appreciative of all of the money and the people who give this money to us, but also being appreciative of the money that I spend. How cool is that? You know, I made this enormous down payment, or not down payment, but like trust money payment on the house, and like almost hyperventilated as we pushed the button to send the money to the realtor. And then I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I have to thank the money for leaving me, for going out, for providing this to us. And exactly. Money, and it's woo-woo, it's so woo-woo, but money flows so much more easily. And
yeah. And like, so 2 things, like I did something very similar, and I dropped quite a significant chunk of money in one day. And I booked, like, tomorrow we're going to like, as a Christmas present, we're going to go and see the Lion King. I'm taking the kiddo to see the Lion King in the West End. Yeah. And then, like, he was like, I want to go on a train, and I was like, okay. So I booked the best fucking train, and we're going on the Eurostar. And so I was just like, fuck it, we're gonna take a fucking train to another country. And so I was like, yeah, let's do the best train ever. I mean, yeah. And I was just like, thank you for this life, for this money, that I'm able to just do this. I'm so grateful. Like, and I was just like, I just did it. And it was just magnificent. And the other thing is surrendering. Like, I feel, and like, this is hard because I'm a bit of a control freak, but like, I feel like every time I surrender to the universe, and I'm just like, this, I'm going to do this, and the money's going to come, and the money will arrive, and I will do it. And it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but I know it's coming because you've got my back. And it always comes every single time. But like, you have to get past that being really uptight and worrying, and just be like, yeah, okay, but it's going to happen. It will happen. Like, and it's just, yeah, it's crazy that how it works. I don't understand how it works, but it does.
My brain just exploded because I realized what happened as exactly you were saying that about the trust and the surrender. So we started talking about reading this about, 6 or 7 weeks ago, whatever. And I blew through it because I loved it. And I started tracking the money and thanking the money, and remembering that was what was my biggest money block, was when I started doing this years ago. And that is what transformed everything. It was what allowed me to leave my day job. It allowed us to move here. It allowed us to save. It allowed me to understand money, because then I wasn't scared of it or using it as a punishment for myself or something I wasn't worthy of. And I was remembering all that when I was doing this, and these money ideas were coming to me, and I'm playing with them, and I start making the course. And then we, out of the blue, I don't know if I told you this part, but we just decided, why don't we just see what a mortgage is like in New Zealand, because we've heard it's just impossible. Right. And so we called this mortgage broker. Nobody has your back here. Like in the States anyway, there are realtors, and a realtor will sell the house, and you engage a realtor who then helps you buy a house. Here, there are only realtors who sell the houses. You have to do everything else yourself when you buy it. You do the due diligence. You hire a solicitor to go over the contract. There's no real prices. You just get to guess. And when we were talking to our mortgage advisor about, like, well, how do we pick a price that we're going to offer on a house? Like, she goes, oh, you just guess. That's fantastic. Fabulous. But like, so all of these things, but we decided, we thought we would never get pre-approved for a mortgage. And not only do we get pre-approved for a mortgage, we got pre-approved for a mortgage with just my money, just what I make, because Lala is unemployed right now. She actually got a job last week and then lost the job immediately because they put a hiring freeze on it. So and all of this has been happening with just the book income, just the teaching income. And it all just, they said, yes, you can have a loan. Go look at some houses. Yeah, well, you could have that one. Here you go. You can have it in 3.5 weeks. And it was because I trusted this, I think. I mean, I don't think that's why the house come through entirely, but but like the surrender of that and the peace in that. And there's also peace in the fact that, while I got the job and lost the job, that means another job is coming, but it also means we can afford this house on what I make. And it's maybe because of happy money, all of this.
Yeah. I feel like there's a bit of competition in there as well, because I don't know about you, about how you are with it, but when I decide a goal, it's like, and I say this, and I'm just gonna say it, but it is win or die. And so I know we've said this before, but what I mean by that is that I will not quit. There is no stopping. There is no slowing down. I will just continue until I get there. And so the universe better fucking move out the way or lay down and bend the knee, because like, if this is a duel between me and the fucking universe, I'm a win, right? But also, like, I trust the universe, and like, if the universe says, okay, not going to happen this week, it's not going to happen next week, but it'll happen, fine, because I'm not going to stop. And it's like that constant balance between like submission and dominance over like
yes.
And it is like, I don't know. It's odd. It's an odd one. But yeah, I completely get what you're saying. The only thing I didn't like in Happy Money is that he did seem to have a bit of a problem with people who wanted to win as a mindset. And I was like,
of course you would know. I didn't even notice that.
You didn't? Oh my God. Like there were,
I have high
highlighted,
competition,
like,
but I think it's only what I can't remember.
don't know how I feel about that. So for listeners, I literally highlighted a quote that says winning is not how well you do financially. It's how good you feel about playing. And I just put, don't know how I feel about that.
my competition, the hackles went up and they went immediately back down. Like they were smooth. Like, okay, I could take that. Your hackles would just go up and stay up for a minute.
Yeah. Like a cat. Like side walking at the book.
Sorry about this. It's a tangent, but speaking about Happy Money, do you love your Kindle Scribe? I cannot. I don't know if I should get it. I can't. It's so expensive. Things are. I mean, in New Zealand, the tech is so much. Oh, it's really expensive.
It's disgustingly expensive. Oh wow. I mean, I literally can't lie to you. I love it. I literally love it. I can't even pretend to hate it for you. I'm sorry. I just love it.
I'm gonna say
I have one complaint and one complaint only. Two complaints. The second complaint is there are not enough options for Kindle covers, which is very irritating for me right now. And the second one is when you put it in a cover, it's bloody heavy. So I have, like, you have to pick and choose how and where you're going to hold it or how you're sitting with it, because that can be annoying because it can get very heavy very quickly. So however, it's saving me money because ebooks are cheaper. I can email the notes to myself. You can highlight, you can scribble, you can read PDFs on there. And I literally love it. So I'm sorry, everyone, you're just gonna have to buy one. So yeah.
There is this tenet that you will learn about in Profit First, where you're keeping aside a portion of money for yourself. And his thing is you can't spend it on your business. Can't spend it on your business. You could spend it on a gift for your present, if for yourself, or for other people, or for new dining chairs, or for charity, or whatever it is. But so sometimes I take money out of the Profit First account to buy things like that I just cannot justify to myself. Would I buy it for Lala if she wanted $1,000 toy like that? I've done it like 3 times. We have decided to make that kind of purchase this year 3 times because I'm like, yes, we can afford it. Get your new synthesizer, whatever it is. But for myself, I have such a problem.
So I brought it as an investment because I spank so much money on paperbacks. One of the things that I want to do next year as a result of Happy Money, and I think this happened all at the same time. So I think I was coming to this conclusion anyway, which is one of the reasons that I'd pre-ordered this, but I want to spend more consciously. So, and I've been trying to do that this year, be less frivolous. But actually spend money on the things that I really appreciate and can be grateful for. So like, instead of just buying a fucking Starbucks every day, I'll buy one once a week because then I really enjoy the Starbucks. You know, instead of just buying tons and tons of paperbacks, I brought the Kindle Scribe. Yes, it was a big amount of money, but it's like I'm saving 50% on every book purchase, and I'm still supporting authors, but I'm actually being more environmentally conscious. I am, I
love you so much because my brain is just like, yes, she's right. Yes, she's right. Okay, Christmas, here we come.
Right? Yeah, exactly. And like, and also it's less annoying for Chloe in bed because it's backlit, so I can dim the light and I'm not having the lamp on to read. So it's better for my wife too. That's how I justify it.
These are such great justifications. I love them.
Oh yeah. The only thing I hate, but I hated this about my other Kindle, is that it's really hard to, like, as a visual person, it's annoying to organize your books on there. But that was like that with the old Kindle too. You just,
do you organize them?
Sometimes.
I should do that. I've never done that. They're just in their ramble scrabble and I never know what's in there.
So it is slightly easier to, like, well, it's no, it's not easier, but you can you can see slightly better because it's a bigger screen, so you can put them into like collections or whatever.
I never even thought about
Actually,
doing
one of my
collections.
things, well, yeah, that
Number one
is one of the
input. That should have
things.
been my number first. That I didn't even know you could do it. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
go
oh,
to
it's great.
oh yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want one that
And I
is
want to
like,
go in
don't
my
forget to
library.
finish reading this.
Yeah, but I want to delete stuff as well because it's
Yeah,
like 900 Kindle books, and I'm like, I'm not even going to read some of these, so I just want to delete them out and be
yeah.
clean start. But it all takes a bit of time, and then I'm like, what else could I be doing with that time? So I haven't done it.
Okay,
But
that's
yes,
exciting.
yes.
So
You
yes,
should
I
buy
think we
one.
would give I would give a thumb up to Happy Money then.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. In fact, I think I've bought it for 2 people. I bought it for a friend of mine as well. I bought a physical copy for a friend of mine who I thought would really appreciate it. So yeah, I've already bought it twice.
See,
I love
that's
that we do
amazing.
this. Yeah, I know. I
too.
love that we do this.
Okay, and so our book, if anybody wants to follow a long time, is Everything Connects. I will send you the name of it. Faisal Hoque is the author, and that'll be fun. And the next time I talk to you, what'll be going on?
End of January.
Yeah, who knows? That's like a whole
I
nother
will
year.
be really close to launching my book. I know.
Okay, I will want to
I will
know
have written
because
another one.
wait, which one are you writing? The sequel?
Book 2? Yeah. Not fucking about next year.
I can't wait to hear about it. Oh my God.
Yes.
I like only talking to you once a month. It feels
I
like
know,
time
we do
goes
loads.
weird, you know? Okay, so
know.
I will have I will have launched the 90 Days to Done courses. I'll be in the middle of teaching that. And hopefully I will have launched the Evergreen course. And I would like to say out loud that I will have thought of a collection idea and maybe be working towards a little creative inspirational series. And when I say inspirational, I ain't talking Jesus. I mean inspirational of the soul. We need to make that fucking clear.
Yes, I love it. We should both add one more thing to our list of things. For our learning curriculum, we should both come back with like at least one action or thing that we have already implemented, I would say.
One action implemented.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great because that will make me do it at least, like if I haven't done it, I'll do it the day before just so I can tell you I did. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Okay, cool.
Okay, my friend.
Oh, I'm excited.
Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Happy 2023.
Happy
I'm so glad that we do this together and I appreciate you. Mwah.